The mare's eyes flashed with fury, her teeth bared as she lunged at the auction staff. Hooves struck metal with deafening clangs, sending handlers scrambling for safety. The crowd gasped, backing away from the pen where the once celebrated show horse now raged like a demon. Blood trickled from a handler's arm where she'd connected. "That one's going straight to slaughter," someone muttered. "Too dangerous to keep." But at the edge of the chaos stood Emma Reynolds, her heart hammering against her ribs. While everyone retreated, something in her remained rooted to the spot. The mare's wild eyes caught hers for just a moment, a flash of connection amid the fury. Without fully understanding why, Emma stepped forward, her boots scraping against the concrete floor as the crowd fell silent. "Girl, get back," the auctioneer shouted. "She'll take your head clean off." Emma didn't hear him. The world had narrowed to just her and the mare. She approached the pen slowly, one hand slightly extended, palm down. The massive horse snorted, pawing the ground, muscles tensed to strike, but something had changed. The mare's ears flicked forward, then back, confusion replacing blind rage. "Easy," Emma whispered, her voice barely audible, yet somehow cutting through the tension. "I see you." The mare froze, nostrils flaring, eyes locked on Emma's. For 3 heartbeats, nobody moved. Nobody breathed. But to understand how we got here, how a broken girl and a vicious mare found each other, we need to go back to where it all began. 3 months earlier, Emma sat on the edge of her bed, fingers tracing the worn leather of her mother's riding gloves. The house had grown unbearably quiet since the accident. Her father moved through their ranch like a ghost, doing only what was necessary to keep things running. The horses in their small stable, once her mother's pride, now represented nothing but work and painful memories. "Emma," her father's voice broke through her thoughts. "You've got school." She nodded, tucking the gloves beneath her pillow. At 16, Emma had always been quiet, preferring the company of horses to people. But since losing her mother, she'd retreated further into herself, speaking only when necessary. School passed in a blur, as it always did now. Emma drifted through hallways, sat through classes, and avoided the concerned glances of teachers who knew about her loss. The final bell couldn't come soon enough. As she walked home, cutting across the back pastures, she spotted her father talking with Mr. Henson from the bank. Their grim expressions told her everything she needed to know. "We're behind on the mortgage," her father confirmed that evening, pushing food around his plate. "If we don't come up with something by the end of summer, we'll lose the place." Emma stared at her untouched dinner. "Mom wouldn't want us to lose the ranch." "Your mother isn't here," he said, his voice catching. After a moment, he added, "There's an auction next week. I'm thinking of picking up a couple of project horses, buy cheap, train them up, sell them for profit. It's what your mom would have done." Emma nodded, though doubt gnawed at her. Her father was a decent horseman, but he lacked her mother's gift for connecting with troubled animals. That had been her specialty, taking the broken ones nobody wanted and turning them into something special. The auction house smelled of dust, manure, and desperation. Emma trailed behind her father as they walked the aisles, inspecting the horses. Most looked defeated, heads hanging low, eyes dull with resignation. Her father made notes, calculating potential profits against required work. Then came the commotion from the back holding pen. Shouts erupted, followed by the unmistakable sound of hooves striking metal. Emma and her father rushed toward the noise along with everyone else. That's when she first saw the mare, 16 hands of gleaming black fury, mane flying as she struck out at anyone who came near. Blood streaked her shoulder where a whip had connected, only enraging her further. "What's her story?" someone asked. The auction manager spat. "Champion jumper till her owner died. New folks tried breaking her their way. She put their trainer in the hospital. Been through 3 owners in 8 months. Each one worse than the last. She'll go cheap to meet," another man commented. "Shame. Good bloodlines wasted." Something stirred in Emma's chest, a feeling she hadn't experienced since before her mother's death. She watched the mare's eyes, saw beyond the rage to the fear beneath. This wasn't a vicious animal. This was a creature that had lost everything and been betrayed by those meant to care for her. When the mare came up for auction, nobody bid. The auctioneer started at rock bottom, looking disgusted. "Anyone? She's got papers. Good breeding stock if you can handle her." Emma's hand rose before she could think better of it. "Emma, no," her father hissed. But the auctioneer pointed. Sold. To the young lady in the back. Her father's face flushed with anger. Do you have any idea what you've done? That animal is dangerous. She's scared, Emma said quietly. There's a difference. Getting the mare home proved nearly impossible. She refused the trailer, fought the lead rope, and required 3 handlers plus a sedative to finally load. By the time they arrived at the ranch, Emma's father wasn't speaking to her. You've got 2 months, he finally said as they closed the mare in their sturdiest stall. 2 months to make something of her, or she goes. I can't afford to feed a killer. Emma nodded, watching the mare pace her stall, eyes rolling white with fear. That night, she returned to the barn alone. The mare snorted and backed away as Emma approached, ears pinned flat against her head. I'm going to call you Luna, Emma said softly, settling onto a hay bale opposite the stall. Because you're dark as night, but still have light in you. I can see it. She didn't try to touch the mare, didn't even enter the stall. She just sat and talked, her voice gentle and steady. She told Luna about her mother, about the emptiness she'd left behind, about the ranch they might lose. When her voice grew hoarse, she simply sat in silence, letting the mare grow accustomed to her presence. An hour passed before Luna stopped pacing. 2 hours before her ears occasionally flicked forward, listening. When Emma finally stood to leave, the mare watched her with wary curiosity rather than blind fear. It was a beginning. Days passed in slow, careful steps. Emma brought treats, but never forced them on Luna. She read books in a chair outside the stall, occasionally glancing up to find the mare watching her. When Luna refused to eat with anyone present, Emma left food and retreated, waiting patiently behind the barn door until the mare's hunger overcame her suspicion. You're wasting your time, her father said after a week had passed. That horse is broken in ways you can't fix. Maybe we're both broken, Emma replied. Maybe that's why we need each other. On the 10th day, Luna took a carrot from Emma's outstretched hand, her lips velvety against Emma's palm for just a moment before she retreated to the corner. Emma didn't celebrate outwardly, but inside, her heart soared. Progress came in tiny increments. Luna allowing Emma to stand beside her stall without pinning her ears. The day she didn't flinch when Emma raised her hand. The morning Emma entered the stall, and Luna merely watched instead of threatening to strike. Emma kept a journal, documenting every small victory. She researched trauma in horses, learning how fear could rewire their brains, how patience was the only antidote to broken trust. She studied her mother's training notes, absorbing techniques for gentle persuasion over force. She needs to know I'll never hurt her, Emma told Maggie, the elderly woman who owned the neighboring ranch and had been her mother's closest friend. Every person in her life since her original owner has betrayed her trust. Maggie watched Emma brush Luna's neck, the mare tense but tolerating the contact. You remind me of your mother. She could see into their souls too. By the end of the first month, Emma could halter Luna, though leading her remained a challenge. The mare would follow for a few steps, then plant her feet, overcome by fear of the unknown. Each time, Emma would wait patiently, never pulling, never forcing. Sometimes they'd stand for 20 minutes before Luna would take another step. This isn't training, her father argued after watching them make a painfully slow circuit of the barnyard. At this rate, she'll be ready to ride sometime next century. I'm not trying to ride her yet, Emma explained. I'm trying to heal her. The day Emma managed to lead Luna to the round pen was a milestone. The mare trembled at first, overwhelmed by the open space after weeks confined to her stall and the small paddock. But Emma simply stood with her, giving her time to adjust, to realize that open spaces didn't have to mean vulnerability. Then came the storm. It hit without warning one afternoon, lightning cracking across the sky, thunder rolling like artillery fire. Emma raced to the barn to find Luna in a frenzy, kicking at her stall door, eyes wild with terror. Easy, girl, Emma called, approaching slowly despite the mare's panic. But Luna didn't recognize her through her fear. As Emma reached for the halter, the mare reared, striking out. A hoof caught Emma's shoulder, sending her sprawling onto the barn floor. Pain exploded through her arm as Luna continued to thrash, eventually crashing into the stall partition with enough force to splinter the wood. Emma's father found them both, his daughter clutching her bruised arm, the mare with blood streaming from a gash on her leg where the wood had cut her. That's it, he said, helping Emma to her feet. I'm calling the sale barn tomorrow. Dad, no. It wasn't her fault. She could have killed you. Just like, he stopped himself, but Emma heard the unspoken words. Just like what happened to your mother. Mom's accident wasn't the horse's fault, Emma said quietly. And neither was this. Please, Dad. I just need more time. He looked at her, then at the trembling mare. One more chance. But if she hurts you again, she's gone. That night, Emma sat outside Luna's stall, her arm bandaged and throbbing. The mare stood in the corner, her own wound dressed, eyes watching Emma warily. I know you didn't mean it, Emma said softly. You were scared. I get scared too. She talked through the night, her voice a steady stream of comfort as the storm raged outside. Gradually, Luna edged closer to where Emma sat, until finally, the mare lowered her head over the stall door. Emma slowly raised her uninjured arm. Luna flinched but didn't retreat. When Emma's fingers finally made contact with the mare's forehead, they both seemed to release a breath neither realized they'd been holding. See, Emma whispered. We're going to be okay. The next morning, Maggie arrived with coffee and concern. She found Emma asleep against the stall door, Luna standing guard over her. Well, I'll be, Maggie said, waking Emma gently. Looks like you've got yourself a protector now. With Maggie's guidance, Emma's training accelerated. The older woman had decades of experience with traumatized horses and recognized the bond forming between girl and mare. Your mother would be proud, Maggie told her after watching Emma successfully saddle Luna for the first time, a process that had taken hours of patient desensitization. Not many would have seen what you saw in this horse. Emma's father remained skeptical but couldn't deny the transformation in both the mare and his daughter. Emma was talking more, standing straighter. The hollow look that had haunted her eyes since her mother's death was fading, replaced by determination. 2 weeks before their deadline, Emma made a decision. I want to enter Luna in the county fair's rehabilitation class, she announced at dinner. Her father lowered his fork. You can't even ride her yet. The rehabilitation class isn't about riding. It's about showing progress, demonstrating trust. We can do that. He studied her face, seeing something of his late wife in her resolve. If that horse acts up around all those people. She won't, Emma said with quiet confidence. She trusts me now. The morning of the fair dawned clear and warm. Loading Luna into the trailer, once an impossible task, now required only 10 minutes of patient coaxing. Emma's father watched in amazement as the mare followed his daughter willingly, hesitating only briefly before stepping inside. At the fairgrounds, chaos reigned. Children darted between stalls, loudspeakers blared announcements, and strange horses called to one another. Luna's nostrils flared, her body tense as Emma led her through the crowd. People stopped to stare, whispering as they passed. Isn't that the killer mare from the auction? Can't believe they let something that dangerous compete. That girl's either brave or foolish. Emma ignored them all, focusing solely on Luna, murmuring constant reassurance. They found their assigned stall, and Emma got Luna settled, creating a bubble of calm amid the frenzy. Maggie appeared with coffee and donuts. How's our girl doing? Nervous, Emma admitted. Both of us are. You've already won, you know, Maggie said. Just by getting her here. The rehabilitation class was scheduled for noon. As Emma prepared, her father approached, looking uncomfortable. I want to say something, he began awkwardly. I didn't believe in what you were doing. I thought. He paused. After your mother, I couldn't bear the thought of losing you too. But I see now what she always knew, that you have her gift. Whatever happens today, I'm proud of you. Emma hugged him, tears threatening. Thank you for giving us a chance. When their turn came, Emma led Luna into the arena. The announcer's voice boomed over the speakers. Next up, number 42, Luna's Redemption, with handler Emma Reynolds. This mare was deemed dangerous and unhandleable just 2 months ago. The crowd murmured, many recognizing the infamous black mare from the auction. Emma took a deep breath and began their routine, a demonstration of trust they'd practiced for weeks. Luna followed Emma's cues, walking, stopping, and turning on subtle signals. Emma asked her to step over ground poles, navigate around barrels, and stand quietly while she moved around her body. Each task showcased the mare's transformation from fearful aggressor to willing partner. For their final demonstration, Emma removed Luna's halter entirely. A collective gasp rose from the audience. The mare stood free, nothing preventing her from bolting or attacking. nothing except the invisible bond between them. Emma stepped away, raising her hand in a signal they'd practiced. Luna lowered her head, then extended one leg forward in a bow. The crowd erupted in applause, startling the mare. For a heart-stopping moment, Luna tensed, eyes widening. But then she looked to Emma, found her calm presence, and settled. When the results were announced, Emma and Luna had won not just their class, but the Special Judge's Award for Most Inspirational Partnership. As they accepted their ribbons, the judge commented, "This is what true horsemanship looks like. Not domination, but conversation. Not force, but understanding." Later, as they loaded Luna for the journey home, a man approached, the same auction manager who had written the mare off as meat-bound. "I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself," he admitted. "What's your secret?" Emma stroked Luna's neck, feeling the mare lean into her touch. "There is no secret. She just needed someone to listen to what she couldn't say. Someone who understood what it feels like to be broken." That evening, Emma sat on the porch steps, Luna grazing peacefully in the front paddock, a sight unimaginable 2 months earlier. Her father joined her, 2 mugs of hot chocolate in hand. "Your mother used to say that the most damaged horses have the most to give. If only we have the patience to wait for them to offer it," he said, passing her a mug. I didn't understand what she meant until now. Emma watched Luna in the fading light. The mare lifted her head, nickered softly, and walked to the fence line, waiting. Emma rose and went to her, feeling the warm breath against her palm as Luna nuzzled her hand. "I think maybe we saved each other," Emma said. In the months that followed, Luna became the foundation for a new direction at the Reynolds Ranch. Emma, with her father's support, began taking in other lost causes, horses deemed dangerous or worthless. Word of the girl who could reach the unreachable spread, bringing clients willing to pay for second chances. The mortgage payments were met. The ranch was saved. But more importantly, a legacy was preserved, not just of a family business, but of a philosophy that recognized the healing power of patience, the strength found in gentleness, and the transformative magic that happens when 2 broken spirits choose to trust again. As for Luna, she never became a riding horse. Emma tried once, and while the mare tolerated it, Emma sensed her discomfort and never asked again. Instead, Luna found her calling as a therapy horse, standing patiently while traumatized children brushed her gleaming coat and whispered their secrets into her ears. Something in her recognized their pain and responded with a gentleness few would have believed possible from the vicious mare at the auction. Sometimes healing doesn't look like we expect it to. Sometimes it doesn't follow our timeline or meet our original goals. But when it happens, when trust replaces fear and connection defeats isolation, it creates something far more valuable than any blue ribbon or championship trophy could represent. It creates a second chance. For a horse. For a girl. For a broken heart learning to beat strongly again.